What's up, y'all? It's your girl. Welcome back to Real Talk and Healthy Food. This is more of just an update and a little bit of what to look forward to and a more of a reflective video. So before we get into it, let's cue the theme song. And extra before I get into it, um, I know you're not probably used to this style of video, but it's making it easier on myself um, because of the mind frame that I'm currently in. Also, if you hear any noise in the background, it's my heater. It could be a roommate, especially if you hear any kind of niggerdom. It's some buffoon walking through my hallway. Either way, it's all peace, really. But I just kind of wanted to, let y'all know what's going on. Really, this was a happenstance video. So, I took the week off and I really have just been in a reflective state. I really didn't do much at all. I really needed that mental break. And so, kind of going into, the new phase and the new grind mode that I'm going to be in, um, I really just wanted to put some content out there and let y'all know where I'm at and what to look forward to. So, where I'm at currently is really just, you know, very reflective and very much preparing to preparing for the next chapter. And that could be very much overwhelming. Now, although I y'all haven't been seeing me, I have been very much been putting in the work. Rather, that is, going to therapy and just learning how to do self care. In this next phase, I am learning how to put myself first. And for some people, that might be like, well, girl, how come you don't know how to do that? You know, um, I think through my grief, I think that, um, I don't know how to explain. I think that I was kind of forced to nurture myself, if you will. Um, Although the year prior, I very much was taking care of myself. But after that, I was taking care of myself physically. Like I was working out, I was praying more, I was celibate, I was eating cleaner. But I think through that, I kind of was forced, not forced in a way that I wasn't a willing participant. I mean, I was put in a position to have to recognize God first, right? And really build a honest and true relationship. And then through that, I, with the help of my aunt, learned forgiveness, right? Um, and then through that, that led to therapy. And through that came a true relationship with not only God, but with myself, like a real one that forces action, right? Um, and I kind of been in that state. Um, for these past couple months, I think the last 6 months since I've been in therapy. Now I'm at this phase where I'm kind of reflective and I'm at a crossroads of, I look at my old self and I'm meeting my new self and I I physically want to get back to that old me, but mentally I'm in a different place. And what I'm trying to work through is how can both of those roads work in parallel. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is there's a lot of attributes about my past that I could appreciate. The hustle, the go hard, the ambition, like the just the when you have that hustler's mentality and you could hustle for 7 days straight, no sleep, and just that grind, But now I'm in an office, right? And I got a different grind, which I'm doing well, right? Because um, that I still kind of have that same mindset, but it's in a corporate setting, right? So now I'm trying to navigate through that. And now I'm at a place where I'm really able to move up and forward, both career wise and as well as in my life. And sometimes that could be uh, very scary. And I think that what I missed as far as those old attributes, because I remember a time, where I was just like real lively and real high energy. I'm still high energy, for the most part, but um, just a high energy person and ready to go, 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 move, move, move. And I do miss that. And sometimes I really do miss having my time. So with the state of the world, with as far as like, I guess like the romantic life, my financial life, my spiritual life, and things like that, and getting everything aligned. I think that if we're just being honest, I think about things. With a prepper type of mindset, I feel like because it's very different for us millennials, right? A lot of us ain't jumping the broom the same way as my parents were, right? My parents are about to celebrate 30 years of marriage next month. And, here I am, very much single. Not single because, oh, I can't get a man. I mean, I got two on my phone, but I just really don't take them seriously. And I think I'm probably just going to be letting that go here soon, especially when I move, right? Um, but I think I'm saying that to say I, I am trying to set myself up, rather if that happens, wonderful. That's what my heart desires, right? But if it doesn't happen, still good, right? I'm still good financially. My life is still set up. I'm not without. And I think that's more of what my concern is right now is, you know, um, preparing for if that is to happen, and then also preparing for if it doesn't, because realistically and what my mind say, I mean, I just can't trust what a nigga gotta say. And and I don't want to put anything on my person either, and I think that's why I'm doing all this work, right? um and that's just romantically. Financially, I'm cool. And I'm gonna be coming up. Thank God. It only took 6 years for that to happen. So I'm very grateful for that. Um, and then, as far as my livelihood, that because of my financial state, I'll be able to move forward there too. But mentally, I I'm kind of like, how how can I merge the old with the new and become the woman that I always wanted to be when I was that little girl. And I hope all of that rambling leading up makes sense to my point. You know, when we're little, we see ourselves, through the trauma work that I've been doing. When I wrote a letter to myself, I had to apologize to the little me, for the things that I wasn't able to do. And then I had to also let her know that it wasn't her fault, right? And then me just being the big sister that I am, right? Big sister mama remix that I am, I had to kind of, I had to be the big sister to myself because I didn't have that. And I had to, kind of get myself back on the right track mentally and let her know that, hey, fuck those motherfuckers. You the illest, you the best. The same thing I would say to any one of my little brothers and sisters. So with me being big sister and myself, right? It's kind of like it's kind of hard to do. It's hard to do. Um, it's really hard to do. And then also, creating boundaries, creating work boundaries, creating social boundaries, creating uh, personal boundaries has been difficult to do because it's hard to tell, when you're the person who always pulls up, shows up for every fucking thing and takes every fucking thing on, right? Um, and just that willing participant all the fucking time, it's kind of difficult to say fuck you nicely. It's kind of difficult to say, what, I just need my space right now. Please leave me the fuck alone. I just want to sit here and eat popcorn and watch, Power, or whatever the fuck it is I want to do. Right? I want to sit up here and kick it with Taco and Kitty all fucking week long, and it's none of your motherfucking business. You know, and not in a rude way, respectfully, right? Sometimes those things can be hard to do. So like, you know, I I kind of been just doing that. Um, I got recently, so that's just where I'm at. I recently was inspired to work on a project, which I think you guys are gonna love. Now it's gonna take some time, but I would really love to uh increase my engagement. And I think I'm going to start doing more thoughtful pieces. And maybe this style, this format of video might be best for me right now. Um, there's going to be a podcast coming soon, especially after I get from the nose, and throat doctor, so I don't sound like a black Lois um, all the fucking time, sounding like I'm got a cold. So once I get that under control, I'll definitely be working on that. I'm working already currently on some think pieces, but prior to that, um, I'll definitely for sure be uploading a project that I'm working on. It was inspired by Truth Unedited. Um, and it's actually a combined project. A year or so ago, I had researched the Bush family because I was working on a video. I don't know if y'all remember, but I was working on a video talking about 9/11. And like I literally like watched all 8 hours of the footage from that day. And then I went to the encyclopedia, the Britannica, and it took me almost 2 months to compile all the information that I had gathered and I researched. And I mean, it took up the whole fucking notebook, like I was in class, right? So I'm gonna be compiling that research along with the new project idea, that I got, which will be discussing the decades and like how we got from there to now. His was more focused on, so his was about television mind control, which is very much a real thing, as we often discussed here, and how that affected the generations throughout, the decades. And it's a awesome video. So I would encourage you to go to Truth Unedited and watch those videos. They're awesome. I mean, he went from the 50s. Now we're currently in the 70s, going into the 80s, which I'm totally looking forward to because that's my era. I'm for sure looking forward to the 90s. But since his channel is a Christian based channel, I don't think he's gonna. Although he encouraged, uh, some self reflection, which I'm already in that state, right? I think he encouraged us to kind of look at how those things affected us, growing up, which it totally has, which we always talk about. But my angle, it would be more because I like to look into the history of things. Is more of the systems that were set up and put in place, and more of how Black people were set behind the line due to those systems. And then also when the line became blurred, because really it isn't about black or white, right? As we know here, but Black people have been intentionally set behind that line. And then and that reality is fucking real, and sad, um and it has to be acknowledged, right? But at the same time, once we are able to mentally pull back and see that it isn't about that, that is a divisive conquer, divide and conquer mechanism, then we're able to see the full picture and really point the blame where it needs to go. And then also discussing when the line became blurred and it became more about money and power, and how racism is used as a weapon to divide, and why we need to go to God and try to come together against the true enemy, right? And then even going above that, how to armor up yourself on the things that are to come. And I really want to talk about that too. And somebody made a good point, which I'm about to wrap it up here because this video is getting kind of long. Um, More focusing on what we got to do right to get with God instead of our focus. It seems to me like it's easier to go, oh, the Illuminati this, oh, this satanic ritual that, oh, this celebrity is doing this, oh, this person is doing that, rather than that, because those videos are it could catch your attention or captivating or interesting, especially if you're new to this. I'm not new to this. I've been knee deep in this information since '05, since I was in the anti-Bush regime, laying in the streets in Cleveland when we was on the news running from the police. Okay, so I ain't new to this. I'm almost 20 years in the truth again. Okay, and that's facts. And a lot of people around me, especially my old crew, will tell you the shit that we was talking about when we was rich in '08. That he especially my ex, oh, I should have listened to you, babe. Oh, a lot of this shit you used to tell me this shit all the time. Yeah, I did. You didn't listen. That's why you're where you're at now. No shame, but it is what it is, right? So I think it would be l- less, uh, I mean, really discussing that is kind of redundant. Um, my goal is to kind of put out a body of work that means something and kind of speak a a real person language, and not have to do all this stupid shit to get to the point. To really get to the point, tell you what it is, and then where we need to be. And I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I can get off on a tangent. So anyway, I'm gonna drop another video tonight too. And I hope you guys tune into that. But this is just an update. So I just wanted to let you know where I'm at. And I'll be coming back. And I really miss y'all. So yeah. So I hope you have a good Sunday. And I'll see you in the next video. So peace, love, and hair grease and all that jazz. I'm out. Cue that outro.